Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Terry at Holding Your Space, and this is my good friend, Goddess Diana,
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Curtsy.
oil painter. Yeah, and an oil painter is also streaming to her own channel today that she got up and running. So thank you very much, Sally.
Yes, can't be done without her. My brain doesn't function as well as hers when it comes to that stuff. I look at it and it all goes
She
into
she
this
has a
little
brain,
vacuum pillow.
right? She has a precision brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got one of those. It's always good to have friends that do things that we don't want to do or that our brain doesn't do, right?
Yeah,
Um, not that we don't want to, but our brain doesn't work that way. It's nice to have that variety. And then
exactly.
I know I've got friends that if they buy a barbecue grill, I'll go buy the same one because I know that they researched it and I don't have to.
Yeah, it always works.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just say hi to a few people here. Jen B, hello, beautiful. Long time no see. So, a lot of you were at Meditation Tribe this morning. Barbara Berkman, good morning. That's right, CJ. Diana is in the house simulcasting. Yeah.
Add
So,
to that.
yeah, you guys know Diana. She's been around for a long time. And make sure that you go to her channel and like and subscribe and hit
Thank
the bell. Ring that bell. Ring my bell, baby.
you.
Jenny.
Barbara, is Trixie okay?
Yeah, where is Barbara? Is it Trixie or Chris? Somebody else had a Crystal in the group that was having a hard
Yeah,
time.
I think her dog is Trixie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there she is. There's Barbara. Hey, Barbara, how are you? Paul, White Dragon, welcome.
Hey.
And Linda, Butterfly Readings with Linda. Linda has a East Coast retreat coming up, everybody, this summer. So I'm going to post on it today. And you can go to Barbara's website as well, or not Barbara's, you can go to Linda's website, Linda Kennedy. So, and CJ, hello, Jenny A. Leah is going to watch later. She's being detained. She's working this week. She's a working girl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yeah. Right. Diana is also an astrologer,
Thank you.
house astrologer expert, among many other things. Yeah, she does.
Ooh,
Her
and
putter.
can't you just feel that Venus in Aries as a morning star? She's like not taking it anymore.
What does
I'm
that
willing and
mean?
able.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Things are really coming in funny. And this morning in meditation we were doing manifesting, which I feel like right now is it a good time to manifest? Because I feel like that energy is there.
It is because Aries has leadership with this Venus being in there, you know? I
Yeah.
mean, Aries has leadership anyways because it is cerebral and it rules the whole zodiac. It can't do anything without delegating. So it can get a bad rap, but Mars, the planet of action, is the ruling planet for Aries. So it's like, okay, Aries is hungry, but Aries can't eat without Gemini getting it to the mouth and Taurus chewing it and some more swallowing with Taurus and into the gut. In order to do all of that, it needs the internal organs, which are other signs.
Oh, I never thought about that with Taurus, but that makes perfect sense that it would
Right.
be in the solar plexus.
Right.
Yeah, or the hara.
Right. This part and the bottom jaw. Right. And then, so this is Aries. And then Gemini is the shoulders and lungs and arms and hands. And then you get into Cancer and you have the breasts. Behind that is Leo with the heart. And then on and on down. And if you take the sigils that make the signs, the stick figure of the signs, you compile the stick figure of the human body. I did that when I was 18 years old, and and people still talk about it. So
Hmm, I love that. Yeah. It's amazing how that works. And then we were talking not long ago about the jaw being connected. The jaw is connected to the,
Yeah.
actually the hip bones.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
for sure. Oh
in
yeah, and
vitro.
anybody thigh trouble, that's your
Mhm.
Sagittarius. Knees, that's your Capricorn. Shins, that's your Aquarius. Ankles also can be included with Aquarius, but they're also part of the feet with Pisces. And poor woe is me Pisces, because he carries the whole weight of the whole body on him. So it can be overwhelming by all means.
Yeah, yeah. Um, okay. Barbara says the channel I have for Diana is not showing this show. What is her channel name? Oh, well,
Oil
we were
painter.
just discussing this. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Look in the icon. It should be oil painter and might say oil painter Diana Bowles. I don't know. We did so many things to get this thing to work. I can't tell you for sure, but it is the regular channel. The
yeah,
one that has a picture of the fairy door and the standing angel.
yeah. And people are coming in from your channel now too. So if you see that little paper clip on there, that means that they're coming in from your channel.
Awesome.
So Sherry is here from Diana's. Hello, Sherry. Voices from the Swamp.
Sherry.
Yeah, Pamela is. So yeah. Oh, Millie. Hey, Millie. Yeah, a lot of people are coming up to your channel. So there you go. Oh,
Thank you.
yeah. Uh-oh. What's that? Somebody's
Oh,
singing
Sally.
tonight.
Yes, we returned to the roots because I had, 230 subscribers on my original channel. And in order to get this thing going, we changed over to the Oilpntr-49 channel, which is through Gmail. But I'm AOL for most of the people that I've known for the past 100 years. And I can't tell all of them to change. They'd go crazy. They're older than me, some of them.
So,
Oh, there you go. And the lowercase b, in case anybody's interested, is because I'm both divorced and a widow. So it's still my last name, but the priority kind of changed.
oh, I didn't know what that's why you did that. That's
Yeah.
beautiful. I love that. That's a
Well,
way to
thank
honor
you.
that.
I'm still a Bowles, but not a Mrs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're always a princess and a goddess for us. So I wasn't sure how this would go today because there's any number of things that we can talk about with Diana. So I just titled it Goddess Diana today. Um, oh, thanks. So it won't be a clickable link. Yeah. If somebody wouldn't mind, we have a lot of lovely moderators here. So if somebody wouldn't mind
Thank
posting that, Diana Bowles, you can just look at Sherry's thing and then it'll be clickable. But
you.
actually, it's better to copy it and go in and do it on your own, I think. At least that's what Allie used to say. I'm not sure if that's true anymore. Barbara, Jenny, hi. Suzanne clicked on the link and it worked. Yay.
Yay.
Oh, good. This is important. Pamela says Ralph is heading to pick up Michaela from her
Okay.
surgery. The doctor said her new surgery will be more stable than it was. She had the surgery in another state last time.
Okay, good.
Yay. I
Good.
I felt like there was a man that was gonna come to the rescue there. It just had that energy, Pamela, when they came in when Ralph was talking about it last week. So, hi, Val, Illumination Portal. Good to see you. And there's our Annie. Good morning, beautiful Annie. So, and it's kind of hopping here. Anyway, I want to say hi to everybody. And if I missed you, I'm sorry. So today we're going to talk about threads, kind of,
Threads.
kind of,
Um,
sort of.
right? One of the first things I want to say is, oh my gosh, the success with the Dream Show. And I'm just so so elated for Allie to have begun this and to keep it going and to have so many people that come in understanding now and remembering their dreams. And our Tuesday show, I had a dream prepared and we didn't get to talk about it. But that's just as well because we can expand on it more here so that people can begin to understand how to pull threads from crossovers, from little bits and pieces that other people have had of a dream that really coincides with what you had. And those threads are more than just about the dream. They are energy that you are working with in the nighttime sky, in your nighttime journeys, in your rescue missions, wherever it is. If you're getting healed, if you're on a med bed someplace in a ship up there with Dr. Gale taking care of you. So I thought it would be a good idea for us to revisit all of that. Some people already know about thread pulling, but those who don't, stick around.
I have, Diana, you sent me this. You send
Yeah.
me one every year. It's a
Yeah.
braided. And this reminds me so much of that thread pulling. I see the grandmothers doing this and all of us
Right.
doing it, and weaving our new manifest,
Right.
right? That's a part of weaving.
And the other thing about that is we're going to burn it, right? When you
Yeah.
have a braid. And so I do it the old way, which is to really make it tight.
Hmm.
And you wait for a year and then you begin to burn it. But you still have to separate the threads because no longer are we trying to manifest by pulling all these things together, but rather we're putting the wish up into the air. And you have to give room for the fire to burn, for the smoke and the air to get inside each of the strands to send it up. Just like, when you blow the candle out and the smoke comes up, if the candle stays lit without ever going out, you're not releasing the energy.
Yeah. That is a sweet grass, Millie. It was
I,
Millie, yeah, it was Millie that asked. It's a sweetgrass braid,
yeah,
and
I grow it.
yeah, and it's beautiful. And Sally says Mr. Boo ate her sweetgrass.
I'll send you another one. I don't know if I
Um,
have any left from last year's harvest, but I'll make sure you get.
yeah, yeah. We'll come to that. I'm going to star that White Dragon. That's a good point. Discovery of witches and all the thread. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, and what's the other one? Wheel of Time. They do it in Wheel of Time also.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
It's been around for centuries.
I love that. Well, and I see it a lot, and I see it when I visualize a lot of times the web. It becomes a spider web because I associate um, grandmother spider so much with weaving that thread
Yes.
um, around the planet, and then also a lot with the fifth dimension. Really corresponds with the fifth dimension, doesn't it?
Very much so, because that takes us to Mikio. What's his last name? I cannot think of it. They call him Mickey. He's the very handsome Asian fella that always wore the beetle haircut. He still does, but now his hair is really white. But he is a physicist, mathematician whiz, and his most recent book was The God Theory. And really, what he's discussing is string theory, all the way up to the 16th dimension. And so, what you're doing is pulling the colors, pulling the elements, the metals, the minerals into this thread and weaving them together over and over. I do the hand actions. You don't have to. It's all in here anyway and in here. But by doing this, It's like that, a little bit of extra energy. So when I'm trying to heal somebody or working towards helping them in some way, shape, or form, I usually use copper, gold, silver, and zinc. Copper, gold, silver, and zinc, and create this braid over and over and over again. Now, Angela Cartomancy Mesquite just had a lot of back surgery. So, as I did this for her, I was wrapping her spine, wrapping her rib cage, wrapping her shoulders, wrapping her arms, and doing it in the skeletal areas, not so much in the muscle. The muscle has to support the skeleton and cushion it.
So the skeleton is so important right now. I always get in our meditations that we're really working with the skull and then the skeletal body because it's becoming crystalline energy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely changing. Every molecule is changing in our body, every atom. But it for some, why does that start with the skeleton? Do you think? In the
I'm I didn't catch everything you said there.
oh, okay, I get that it's definitely doing something with the skeleton. The
Yes.
energy, the crystalline energy is coming in and changing the dynamic of our skeleton and our skulls. Starts with the
Yes.
skull. And I always see it like a lava lamp and the light changing and the crystalline energy coming
Oh
in.
yeah. That's
Sure.
a good way to think of it because um uh, what does light do? It shimmers and shakes, right? And
Yeah.
it's a flow, and it is a blinky 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 with lots of many different colors in there. I can see blue, and so can you, but they may not be the same blue. Our eyes are picking them up differently
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
all of this comes together.
I love that, Lauren. Lauren says, I now associate it with Sophia. Nancy Rebecca said she came back to Earth on March 29th. It is known as the Holy Comforter, the divine feminine in the Trinity. She is weaving blue webbing here and now.
And that, I love that too, because yes, Nancy Rebecca started bringing that in over a year ago, right?
Yeah.
But when in my waking moments and in just before I go to sleep, I now get this blue sparkle that comes into the room through the window. And as I wake up, it's there, but it's ushering itself back out through my bedroom window.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been working with that blue light. We were working with it before,
Yeah.
not before Nancy Rebecca, because she started in 2017, but we've been working with it in meditation group before I knew who she was. People all around the world were. It's
Well,
like that creative energy comes up and you just tap into it.
it's definitely the color that my orbs are in, and then they can go from cobalt to teal green, but I know that that's Raphael working his magic, as well as Michael,
Yeah.
and they're the two of them are working together.
Yeah. It's like this light that comes in on my floor. It's cobalt,
Right? It's all
always cobalt.
blue, but it's not a blue floor.
It's not, it's dark brown, and there's really not a bright blue in my room besides
Yeah.
that blue light when it
Yeah.
um, okay, Paul, this is a great question. He wants to know, does Diana have any books out at all?
No, I sure don't. I've
Not yet.
got a lot piled, but
Yeah.
not that I've written that if I haven't read, I'm going to read.
Well, if you ever wanted to compile a book of your drawings, like your compilings, and just you just need a couple of paragraphs about because there's so much information in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here with one, two, three, four, five journals
Yeah.
that I have filled up just since the dream show began. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting here going, well, I already did a deck of cards. These could all be another deck of cards.
100% they could be. Yeah, it
You
treats the
know?
same. Do you feel like the space within the skull is expanding, not on the outside, but just inside? Yeah. It's
Yes.
it's like another universe in there, don't you think?
That's another t-shirt moment.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's amazing how expansive it really is inside this little cranium.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, the crystalline spines. Yeah, I've been getting that too, Annie Bear, that it does form in our spine, and our spine, it looks so much different. And when we zip up our energy, at the end of meditation from the root to the crown chakra, like a zipper, coming back in and powering up, it's really important. Yeah, the crystalline spines are huge. I love that. I love Debbie DeMint. She's amazing. Oh, thanks, Rossi. There it goes. I knew
Thank
Pastor
you.
would get it.
Mikio Kaku.
Mikio Kaku. Yeah.
He,
Kaku?
I just he talks to people. He's a genius, but he doesn't use science language. He makes sure that you understand. And I know that book is on Kindle or well, probably Kindle too, but Audible, because that's where I have it, and where whenever I just need a little lift, I push that and hit a chapter and listen.
Yeah. And I love what Paul says. I have to say that being crystalline does not mean rigid. There are liquid crystalline structures in nature.
Water and the crystal in the bowl next to it.
Yeah, and the I always oh my I'm in and out. Let me move my new mic over. Sorry guys. I've
Well,
got a new mic and I
yeah,
don't know how to use it.
plasma. Plasma is what? It is gas and liquid trying to thicken like jello, right?
Yeah. Yeah. She totally is Hogwarts power, isn't she? Okay. I'm gonna let you talk and I'm gonna quit bringing all this in, but it's just so interesting. It's as usual, the chat group has the power going too, the vibration. Diana, you are in a time where all had to be hidden. It's difficult for you to share. Is it difficult for you to share? It's a good question, Annie.
That is a good question. You know, the message from Elena the Trods was you must keep one foot in the past at all times because you are of the future. Now she bellowed that to me in one of my romps through the woods one time. But that pertains to all of us because we know from the Akash and just your own innate memory that you have been here before. We have all been here before, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not our first rodeo, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Let me see.
So difficult to share. Well, you know, I sense when there's an openness to listen. So not really. If you're willing to listen, I'll sputter it off.
Yeah, I don't think Diana has a problem sharing.
Yeah.
Paul asks, I've seen or says, I have seen what the Kundalini conduit looks like, and it's a tube lined up with tiny crystals, like in a geode. Yeah, there are ships that I see, White Dragon, that I've seen since I was a little kid. That look like a meteor or a geode coming in, and you look on the inside, and there's an entity in there, and driving with AI, and it's all crystalline. The entire interior is crystalline. They're small private ships. Um, oh, Sally, I think when I assume the world is with me, I proceed too boldly. Never, because it's
No.
your world.
Oh my gosh. And we need your boldness. And you're Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the professional student, the professor who has to stay up on everything all the time, and the scientist and the traveler and the journeyman. So We need energy like that around us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just wanted to mention that when Sal says caution isn't a bad thing. Sometimes, um, and and I can understand that with you, Sally, because you're data driven. You're a statistician. Um, are all powered by crystals. All your ships are never needed to be refueled, right? And we're just coming back into it. Um, you've been slammed multiple times. Yeah. Hello. That's what happens when we come into this planet, and
Yeah.
we are already working it. Yeah. Octurians are all crystal experts. That makes sense, Paul. Yeah. So, anyway, I did want to mention the center of the Earth, not the core, the magnetic core, but the waters inside the Earth,
Yeah.
because that plasma water,
Yeah.
um, that's kind of like a gel, and it's all crystalline energy, and it's a huge healing center. Um, there's more water inside the planet than there is on the crust of the planet, on the outside of the planet.
I
Huge stores of water.
I believe you. I'll tell you one thing, after I grew up in Michigan, so I was used to Michigan, and I always came back for vacations to Michigan, see my mother, my family, my husband's family, etc. And go right up here down the street and rent a cabin on Lake Huron and spend a couple weeks up there every year. So I was living in Virginia for 30 years while doing this back and forth. So I didn't notice the difference of life in Virginia walking on quartz. Not saying that there wasn't water and plasma underneath it, but I'm walking on solid quartz. All I had to do was dig a hole anywhere in my garden, and I was either getting what they call Indian bullets, which is chips of quartz all the time, or pulling up big rocks. And so there was that, but I didn't notice the water till I moved back here and realized I don't have my sea legs anymore. Coming here for a vacation is far different than coming back here to live. So it was like I needed to get my ballast all over again
Yeah.
because it was so different. Now the granite is here, the quartz is here, but it's totally different because there's more water above it. So the gel, what you're talking about, the plasma part, is still down lower, but the water is separating from it and it's coming up and it's making that quartz that Virginia has and other places.
It's activating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Activation on. Yeah, definitely. Um, yeah. So, yeah, she lived in Virginia for a while.
30 years.
Yeah.
It was
That's a
supposed to
long
be a
time.
10
That's a
year
while.
stint. We're only going for 10 years. Yeah. 30 years later.
Right? And it is interesting. I know when I go to the mountains, the crystalline energy and the earth energy in the mountains, the caverns, because mountains are pyramids.
Right.
Uh, and so going on the mountains are always that energy there. I can't drive on a mountain because it's too much energy. And
Yeah.
yeah, I have a hard time driving on highways too because of that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Especially since Michiganders think they're the only ones who know how to drive. So, because after all, they put the car together here.
kind of like people in Denver. CJS, I live in Michigan. Are there any special sacred sites here in Michigan?
Oh,
Thank you.
yes,
Oh,
Irish
honey.
Hills, right outside of Ann Arbor, and Ypsilanti, and what's the other one? Saline, right outside of Saline, and and then there's the Sleeping Bear Dunes and St. Joseph's. What part are you in? I'm in Grand Blanc Township by Fenton, like in here by Flint. That's the easiest way to describe it. Like I'm 30 miles from Saginaw. Um, oh my gosh. And go to the UP. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You can't, Plus, over in Lake Michigan, off of Grand Traverse Bay, the Michigan Stonehenge is underwater there.
Yeah. I think there's so much that to be unearthed through earthquakes, through all sorts of different things happening, shifts around the planet, and
Mm-hmm.
also the melting of the glaciers.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Huge.
anywhere you can find an artesian spring, like in Plymouth,
Yeah.
so you would get Aquafina is the not Aquafina. I can't think of the name of the water that they bottle from there,
Oh, yeah.
and it's in Plymouth, Michigan, which is right outside of Detroit.
Yeah. Um, oh, Mark says Sault Ste. Marie is a major ley line.
Yes, and that's where the reservation is. Also, the Brimley Reservation. I have lots of friends up there.
Yeah. So Annie made me watch this show. She kept sending it to me until finally I did. It was Heather Emsworth with Barbara Hand-Clow
Yeah, she
or
grew up
Cloud
right here.
Hand. Huh?
She grew up right here,
Did she?
10 miles away from where I live.
Yeah, and she was a person that, it was kind of a hidden tribe there, or hidden language, or not language, but hidden teaching,
Yeah,
that they would go out and find the stones, and
yeah.
they would travel through the forest, and they would find, the sacred stones.
Her,
And she said that when the white man came, that they wiped a lot of the sacred stones off, but they're still there.
yes, the mounds. That's the Irish Hills. There are plenty of mounds, um, and at the end of my street is a lake called Kopnaconic. Now you think of the word Kinnickinnick. Kinnickinnick is Lakota, but it's an Algonquin-based language, right? And so is the language around here. And that Kinnickinnick doesn't just mean tobacco. It's a conglomeration. It's a potpourri of things. It's a mixture of different things together that you might smoke. So down at the end of the street, Kopnaconic, the lake, what had happened is it must have been the second ice age. Nobody can really put a finger on it, but the legend from the natives is that everything froze in August. There were no crops, animals were dying from the freeze. So it has to be one of those ice ages. And the only way for the tribe to survive was to go down to this lake and harvest the lotus, the water lilies. Well, you can't eat the flowers. So they would go into the freezing waters and harvest the roots, which were as big as a man's leg, and dried it out and ground it up into flour and roasted it. And that's how they survived. So, what it means is bread of life. And that is a flour, which brings us back to that root word, kinnick, which is putting it all together. So that was going on here. I have found an arrowhead that is certainly pretty old that came out of one of the cornfields nearby here. Now the YMCA owns that. They're beautiful. The YMCA owns that now since like 1912. And the township I'm in was established in 1833, 33 or 63, I can't remember. So, you know, the reservation that was here was already gone, had already been pushed off. But those legends and just walking this land and knowing that I have two leylands that are in my backyard that cross, that go to Lansing and connect with that one that takes you across the world over into Stonehenge and connects all these sacred sites. So there's a lot of that all over the world that we don't even know about because the lines were so narrow and hidden before, but now they are surfacing and getting wider and staying wide
Yeah,
and straightening out too.
Yeah, the vibration from the ley line has gotten so much stronger. Just unbelievable.
Well, and now we can pull a thread from the Schumann resonance because that's what that is.
Yeah.
All that together.
Yeah, Annie says Kinnikinnick grows in Washington. And Sally has wondered if we're all on a grid. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say so. And plus, the thing is, now we're moving up to the fifth dimension. Well, we're already in and out of the fifth dimension. We're in and out of a lot of dimensions, don't you think?
Oh, yes. I think that there's a lot of us who resonate in that sixth dimension.
Yeah.
But then we have to tap it down because so many people are just coming into being, and then there are those who are refusing.
Sure.
And we have to go shopping and we have to do all that stuff. We still have to survive on this planet. So we have to keep a foot in the old world because we are of the future.
Grounding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gravity. Yeah, the dimensions are fluid, in and out all the time. I heard somebody say a little while ago, they were talking about the grit or the different dimensions, and they said, think of it as a realm, not a dimension. And it, for some reason, that gives it less gravitational pull or less, it makes it more fluid for me when I think of it as a realm, because we can enter and fly with it and come back.
I
I
like
think,
that.
yeah, it gives it a fluidity.
Sure, that gives us room to explore.
Oh, yeah. Richie did a nice pondering about grounding on his channel, Teresa says. I'm going to have to go find that.
Yeah, me too.
Love Richie.
Yeah.
Love Richie. So, anyway, okay. So, what do you want to talk about? We were going to talk. We kind of got off subject.
No. It's really all going to pull a thread together because.
Okay.
So back to the dreams show. Where do all these threads come from? These energies that we've just been discussing. What's rising up out of the ground? What's coming down from above? What's pulling us together, or seemingly pulling us apart? Because transformation does have that feel. So the dream show on Tuesday was so busy. I've got chills because there were so many wonderful experiences for people to be sharing that we didn't have a chance to share ours, which is, please, by all means, that's no problem. We can do this separately all the time if necessary. But I had a dream that started November 3rd and 4th of last year. And you might recall this.
Do you want me to pull the one up that I have, or are you going to show the one?
This is the one that's right now. But
okay.
This one, if you remember, there was
yeah.
church and the cart and these guys playing music and all of this stuff going on, right? Mm-hmm. And this church with the bells ringing. What all did I say in here? This is when we thought we were in Slovenia. And it was ancient streets, feminine, divine, crowded streets, narrow, filled with people, lots of women, the small chapel. The next day, this woman cut her hair off, which I had seen her dancing in the street, and then she showed up in a dream the next day with all her hair cut off, and it was sculpted around here like Bela Lugosi. Right? And accidentally saw a blonde woman nude. She was waist up, and she was going back into a love bed. Thought it was my cousin. So this was back in November. But what is coming from here first is going to be these players right here. Because the next dream I had was March 6th. And maybe you'll remember this. This rose covered door.
Yeah.
That nobody knew was a door. And here's the cart. Now it has something in it. And those people, they're playing. And this, remember the next day, a thing showed up in my YouTube drop downs of a group of musicians in McGill University up in Montreal or Toronto. I can't remember where. It was Montreal, and they're playing an accordion and let's see. I have the other guys: an accordion, a guitar, a violin, and the guy was dancing, tipping his hat. And I sent you all the video because there's the guy tipping his hat. That was the next day in reality. But now what becomes the theme is to pull this rose-covered door and these archways, because now you can pull up that picture.
Okay.
And that was March 6th. Now this was May 3rd. And this becomes important because that was also the day that Paul Freed and Paul White Dragon both had something happen on May 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was that street scene where there's this hidden door behind the rose gate.
This one?
Yeah. This is what is behind the roses.
Oh.
It was as if I was on the inside of this. Now I've got stuff scribbled all over here. So it had a cobblestone street, and I chased after this 2-year-old toddler. The giant door was this golden portal. Now all of the wood had a like perfectly roasted marshmallow effect to it, that little golden brown kind of a feel. You could peel it and eat it over and over again. So it really, we were in this apartment, and then all of a sudden all of my friends disappeared, and there was just me and 3 kids. This is kind of where you come in, because you dreamt of your daughter and losing her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So she was in that apartment with a guy. So there were 2 people in there, and they were both young adults, older teenagers. And there was this little toddler. And the toddler's running around, and he gets out of the apartment, and now he's in this church. And which brings us back to that little chapel in the first drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it had that same feel with tons of apses, like it was the cathedral in DC, huge catacombs, all kinds of stuff in this place.
Is that the next page?
No, I think this is the only one we have to worry about.
Okay.
You see the Blessed Virgin Mary and the statue on the altar, and there's all these candles that were glowing. The other thing that you talked about in your dream was jewels.
Oh my God, yeah.
And there was a bucket of jewels and fancy crystals sitting on the floor in front of the altar.
Yeah.
To the divine feminine again, right?
Yeah.
Also in this dream, I had this soldier who was he's in dress army summer fatigue. So he's, it's khaki color. And he's got something over his hand, like it might have been his cap or something. Could not tell what it was. Tie was off. He was there helping. He could have been from World War II or Korea or Vietnam. Okay. And it had that feel to him. He was very tall and thin. Could have been Run G wearing a disguise, right? And he was he was helping all the time, and he had the keys that I thought I had lost, that I couldn't get this door, this huge door, unlocked that is next to him on that other page there. Now this little toddler, I was chasing after him, knowing that the two young adults were fine in the apartment. And so I was trying to protect him. He opened the door and went through them without the keys. And then they slammed shut, and I struggled to get it open. So by the time I got it open and got out the door, he had disappeared into that crowd of people that's at the top of the page. The soldier saw where he had gone because he was tall and lanky, taller than me. So he was able to pick him up in the crowd. I couldn't because the crowd was closing in on him. He scooped him up and got him back to the apartment safe with the other two. He had become swallowed up by this chaotic crowd, and Kelly was in the crowd. She had the chaos in her dream. So then before, let me see, where am I here?
Kelly.
Yes, Kelly. And then we had Paul, White Dragon. Wait a minute. 7D, Paul's dream. The soldier friend scooped up the kid. Soldier seemed to grow taller in order to do this, then grabbed my hand, and we ran back to the apartment. All were safe. Now, Paul's dream comes into here somewhere because he was putting together his what do you call it? Minutemen for an event that night. Well, this guy is one of the Minutemen who came and rescued this. So when we put this all together and try to put the Freudian spin on this as to what the dream means, here we are with the latter people. Because what is the toddler? But he is the core. He's little. He's all about him. There ain't nothing else around but him, and that's the core, right? So this is the first dimension. The Freudian first dimension is the child. And somebody else was talking about ladders in the dreams that they had that night as well.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So is this destiny showing us what's going on, but we are getting it in this battle that we are all together in, that is just proceeding from one dream to the next dream to the next dream, months and months apart. You know, I remember them, I can recall them, but mostly because I've already drawn them. But we all can recall dreams that had importance to us from years ago. We all have that ability.
Oh, we hear them all the time. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can remember dreams from being 3 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, we all have
part so real. Right.
Yeah.
So could this be destiny? Is this what we're being shown? From first D, the toddler, into 2D. Where are you when you're 4 and 5? You're making discovery. What's the job of the 5-year-old? To please mommy and daddy, right? What's the job of the 4-year-old? Making sure he knows the route of how to play one against the other, as well as pleasing mommy and daddy. And then we get trapped in 3D, which is what happens with Freud's theory of this ascension that we go through in our dreams. And then when we translate all of that to life, we're trapped in the 3D world because of all those others who are trapped in even lower densities, who still strive for power over another. It's not so much even that they're evil. They just want power.
Yeah.
Which is not where we are headed in our ascension. So that's how all of that can come together, right? So you pull a thread from here, and you pull a thread from there, and you pull a thread from here. You imagine what color it is for you. What frequency is it in? What dimension is it in? What is the vibration? What are you trying to accomplish? Is it a healing? Is it an advancement? And so as you pull that together, you're braiding. And it is a constant motion that we are going through from everything that we do. How often do we say it's all connected? Now, the other thing that I found here as I was doing this
Are
was,
you done with this? Do you want to show something?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we're done with that. This book, The Prism of Lyra, if you haven't read it, read it. It's a little thin book. It will help explain everything I've been talking about. And here's something funny about this. Everybody remember Lilac Lantern, Andrea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I got this book when she had discovered this book, but this book has been around since 1985. And in it is all of this stuff about the ascension, going through the D's, the dimensions, the colors that associate with all of that. But it is done from our star seeds, that perspective first. And she does mention Freud. So in doing all of that and getting back to this book, because I was going to order it because I ordered that deck, Starseed Heritage. Okay. And she wrote this book before she made those cards, years before she made the cards. I think the cards came out in 2010. So I said to myself, well, now I got to get this book because that's going to help explain these cards and make me understand this heritage even better. And then it dawned on me, wait a minute, I already ordered that book. I didn't remember that I had read it already once. It's written in the margins and underscored here, there, and everywhere, right? But this book will help us all understand where the beginning comes from and how it is we all blasted out of here, out of Lyra. And if Lyra is the cat people.
Yeah. Somebody was just talking about Lyra the other day on the cat or on the dream show. I wanted to say the cat show, but it was the dream show. Yeah.
Right. My little Lynx character, because he was my favorite. My son was Lionel. I had to be him.
Oh.
So anyway, Aaron was 3 years old, and that was all he wanted to be for Halloween. So I made him up for Halloween. Put on his blue Superman sweatshirt and said, there you go.
I love the Sandy Bear. I agree. The frequency of 1 and 2 and 3 dimension are huge. And we think that it's a ladder and we're moving up when we go to the 5th dimension, but it's not. The first dimension, to be a fern, to be an atom, is a huge frequency.
And that's it. That's beautiful. You just hit that. That first one is the atom, is the fetus.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like it's the core of the earth. That magnetic core of the earth is just huge. And I feel like that's our past and present selves and our presence at the same time. And that's the homing mechanism of this planet, which is huge.
Well, and then she puts, and it probably comes from Freud, but when you take us to 3D, what have you got? You got 1, 2, 3, because it vibrates together till it gets up there, right?
Yeah.
And that is the third dimension, is the power over the base.
Yeah.
And what I had already drawn these pictures, right? And it just kind of blew me away that this book coincides. I didn't even remember owning it, let alone having read it. So is there something in there that I was pulling? In that book, I was looking for the page, but all of this triangle on this window, she's got this exact same pattern in that book. And I'm like, wait a minute, including the little arc in the middle. And it's like, oh Oh my God, what are you taking me back to our star seeds? All
Yeah.
of us,
So
you
when
know?
you say taking me back to our star seeds, how do you look at star seeds? How do you define that?
Well, we are carbon, we are golden, right? We are
Yeah.
billion-year-old carbon, and we got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Yeah.
And whether it's just,
Where we originate from, or
yes, it's
yeah.
where, right from the great explosion, from the Big Bang Theory, all those little things came down from where? Is what came first, Terry, the chicken or the egg? you know, I mean, how do we figure this out? This brings us back to time is not linear, honey. You pick a spot and you go there.
Yeah. I think it was Mark, were you the one that had I know you were talking about the Lyran. I can't remember who had the ladder too. I think there were several ladders, Tuesday. There she is, Dr. Gail. We've been talking about
Yay,
you.
Gail.
Yeah. Hey, Dr. Gail. We're gonna be on together on Saturday.
Yep, I need her. You can fill in the blanks here where I keep drawing up. Oh my gosh, I don't know enough. I don't know enough.
No, you do. You do. And that's what the yogi says. I don't know enough, right? Know nothing. Yeah.
well, there's that too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's when we think we know it all.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. As we heal Earth Mama. I love that, Annie. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And I feel like she's light years ahead of us, obviously. But yeah, that frequency that we invite in it. I was listening to somebody else talk the other day. I think it was Geraldine, and her last name starts with an O. You guys probably know her. Anyway, she was talking about the 34th dimension and what that looks like. And what is the shell called in divine um, um,
The
geom
Nautilus.
the nautilus? Yeah. Yeah, that it looked like the nautilus, which
Well,
was
and
interesting.
that makes sense because it resonates out. I got that yoga book, snakes and swords. Is that's what it's called? But that's what it's about.
Yeah, the nautilus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it and it's a cone, right? It goes
Yeah.
down, or does it go up?
Oh, right.
Which way? Where
I
are you standing? Are you hanging upside down? Is it your
Yeah.
monkey mind, or is it your ascension?
Yeah, so when we do that in meditation, for me, they show me that, the more we go down, the higher up we go because 'cause we're right in the center. Our heart space is right in the center. And the more we stretch both ways, how the importance of that.
Paul, is Paul Freed here? I can't see.
He might be working.
Here's your golden. Here's what was behind the golden portal. That was the day you had a hot dog and got a big surprise.
He had an exit, he could have exited at that point, and he decided not to.
Right? I
Yeah,
had this dream on April 26th, Paul Freed NDE experience one day before it happened. Um, I had the dream one day before it happened.
yeah, Paul's here.
I was looking for I was looking for another dream. Now I can't remember what that is. Oh, that's the hills. Where's the hills? Is it in this book? I've drawn so many. I lose track of where the things are. No, it must be in the other book. Well,
Mm,
enough of that.
there's a lot of books.
Like there's 2, 3 more upstairs that are just filled with dream stuff that were pre-dream show, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the dream, 4.5 from since the dream show began.
Oh, yeah, yeah, there's a lot of them. Fibonacci, yeah. I don't know that I pronounced that properly, but that's
You
it.
did.
And Callie's here. Hi, Kelly. Callie Healer.
Yay.
Um, Seascape, hey girl. So anyway, it's interesting how everybody's dreams come together on the dream show. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's on Allie's channel. I think this is pretty much the tribe that's there is here today. But anybody that's watching this later, Tuesday nights, it's Diana Bowles, myself, Callie Healer, and Alice at Heart and Soul Connected. And we all stream it. And now Diana's going to stream it.
I can now. Thank you, Sally.
So from all our channels, but those of you that have been coming with us on this journey for 3 years, are yogis. I mean, you guys have just, the energy from the group chat and that is so that we weren't sleeping. So we had to change the time because we were going on at 8 Central, 9 Eastern for you. And now we changed it to 6 Central, 7 Eastern. So we get a little bit more sleep then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You know, we walk away from these dream shows just so invigorated because the tribe is so active in their night dealings, and because sitting there as part of the panel, in my head I'm going, oh, I had that part of that in my dream this morning, or part, and something that I wasn't going to bring up anyway. But the point is like, we have all been here before.
We certainly have, haven't we? Well, we've got to do this again more often. I miss you so much being on the channel with you besides the dream show. So
well, yeah, we haven't been able to for a while, but
yeah, we will now.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for being here today, and
Yes.
particularly you, Diana, Goddess Diana. So yeah.
I don't mind you saying it, but I'm a little shy.
No, I love it. I love it. I think it's a given. Misty, hey girl. David
That
Cross.
brings us, who was it the other day asked something? It was you who posed the question of your name. Do you pick your name, or was it Teresa Ford? Somebody said something about, do you pick your name before you're born?
I think it was Teresa.
Because my mom, like, I went through that whole thing, that show. My mom had named me the right name. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Yeah, Diana. Oh, it wasn't Teresa. Okay. Yeah. Somebody did. All right, everybody. Well, have a great one. What are you doing next, Diana? You're always so busy.
Mediumship with Allie today at 5 or 5:30, and
With
then
Eastern, 5:30 Eastern. Yeah, with Mark, right?
Yes, with Mark today as well. Yes,
yeah.
I haven't seen him for a while either, so this will
be
fun. And then basically the rest of the weekend off till Tuesday, when we get together again on Tuesday.
Well, good. Well, happy Mother's Day, everybody. I've got Callie Healer on tomorrow, on with Dr. Gail on Saturday, and Sunday I'll be on with Kim and 2 of you for Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, that's right.
That's right. You've got one also. Our Lady who sends the angels to everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, I've got, and this is Our Lady of Fatima, which I think was yesterday,
Yeah.
It was yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, and I pulled Shapeshifter also.
Awesome.
So Shapeshifter energy, I feel like it's really important. I feel like the winged ones are coming in a lot, and we're flying inside them. Like we can look at the world through different eyes now, and that's the 5th dimension.
I love that. I love the way you put that, because that's how I feel a lot of the times. Am I really an owl? This was at the bottom of the deck, Our Lady of the Sacred Sun. And it, could be, we all have divine feminine. We all have divine masculine as well. Yeah. And that's the trick to bringing that divine masculine back, is allowing room for the divine feminine.
Yeah, I see that as the divine feminine, or Gaia, gives birth to a new world, the divine masculine is holding space for her.
Love it.
So it's a combo act. It's definitely needed. But anyway.
That's gorgeous.
Well, everybody have a beautiful weekend. If we don't see you until Monday or next week, have a beautiful, happy Mother's Day, and even if you're a daddy or a dude,
Yeah, it's
still
doing the
celebrate.
same
You're
job.
divine feminine. That's right, that's right. We'll see y'all later. Namaste.
Bye.
Our light sees your light.